what does your business and banking structure look like? When buying new properties, what do you set up in regards to LLCs, banking, bookkeeping? Okay. So my business structure, my entity structure. So I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm not any of those things. You go talk to your own advisors. If you need a link, if you need a referral, I'll drop it right now. They'll give you a free consultation. All this is you could sign up for and I'll drop the link maybe in the YouTube video after, but here's the link for it. I just dropped it in the comments. I'm not even going to pin it. You just go for it right there. I'm not going to share it on the screen, but you can click it right there if you want a free consultation from who I utilize to set up all my entity structures, all my LLC. So entity structure, right? LLCs and all that kind of stuff. And you hear all different types of things. I will tell you what I'm doing. I'm not saying it's the perfect way. It's the right way. It's the only way. Definitely isn't. But for properties that I purchased under my own name when I was house hacking them, they just stay under my own name and I have good insurance on those. So I'm going to forego those. The rental cabins, because I got a commercial loan, I needed to set up an LLC for that. So I have a separate LLC for that one. So the 3 house hacks that I did were just under my personal name. Obviously, there's only 2 now, not 3. There's going to be actually another one. We're closing on another one right now, but it's less a house hack, more a family compound. And then an LLC for my rental cabins. Let's focus on like my overall actual business, the investing business. Like that's part of my portfolio. It's a huge part. It's like half my rentals, but that was all personal and house hacking and all that. Let's focus on like, what am I doing regularly? So the way my entity structure, to the best of my recollection, I know enough to be dangerous. I'm not the end all be all on this stuff. I can bring in the guys who help me with this and do a whole training for you guys, super investors, wealth to real estate community, and just live stream this stuff just to help as many people as possible. It's really my goal here, just to help as many of you guys as possible. So you get the free consultation if you just use that link below. But the way it's set up is I have a trust. This trust owns my holding company and some other assets, I believe, but it owns my holding company, and my holding company owns nothing, but it does have ownership in my LLCs. So it doesn't own a single property directly. It owns LLCs that own other that own properties and maybe other LLCs, but own other properties. So for example, one of those is my lending business. One of those LLC, like underneath my holding company, is my lending business. One of them is my like education, coaching, digital products, the calculator and all that stuff. And the other one is Coast to Coast Vets, my real estate investing business with my business partner. And that's how it works basically. So like, let's forego the 2 things that are probably not relevant to you. Let's just focus on the real estate side. So the real estate side, let's say Coast to Coast Vets, that then owns, that itself also is a holding company, because that my partner owns a piece of it and I own a piece of Coast to Coast Vets. So we each own a piece of it with our own holding companies. And then Coast to Coast Vets, we have a holding company LLC there that then owns each of our different LLCs and assets. So every single asset that we're buying, especially in a new market with a new partner, it gets its own LLC. That LLC has its own EIN. That is then used to create its own bank account for the LLC, and that LLC owns properties in it. So trust, my holding company, which then owns part of our holding company for our buy and hold real estate business, which then owns multiple different LLCs for properties. So the way that it's split up is if it's a new location or new partner, it's going to be in a new LLC. That's pretty much our entirety of our structure. So if it's a new state that we're operating in, or it's a new private money partner that we're working with, it's owned by that new LLC. If it's a private money lender, then we're using our holding company to own that asset, which is then basically indebted to that private money lender, right? But if we're owning a property with someone else, then we are owning it in that LLC with them, essentially. Either that LLC is owning it, like we jointly own that with our private money partner, or we have an LLC for that state that owns the properties, multiple properties in that state, and then joint ventures for each of those different properties underneath that one main LLC. I'm not saying what is right, what is wrong. I'm telling you what, between my attorney, our entity formation people, CPA, and our fractional CFO, because we have a fractional CFO, this is kind of how our entity structure is now. And I'll just recap it again real fast. Trust doesn't really own anything besides my holding company, my IRA and whatever other things. It owns my personal things, but owns my holding company, which then owns other LLCs, right? My lending company, my education and digital products, and then owns my LLC. It owns my ownership of the LLC for Coast to Coast Vets, which then owns all of the other LLCs and properties underneath it. Hopefully that makes sense. So then when buying a new property, what do I set up in regards to LLC? So now we're talking about LLCs underneath Coast to Coast Vets, the buy and hold real estate business. I'm just going to keep calling it Coast to Coast Vets, but the buy and hold real estate LLC. Every time we're buying a new one, we're setting up a new LLC for that property. And then we're setting up a new bank account for that LLC so that we're not mixing funds between multiple accounts. And that's basically what the structure looks like. I went through the entity structure of the LLCs. I went through the banking for each one. Yes, it is annoying and is a lot. Imagine I have a lot of properties. Thankfully, a lot of them are smaller multifamily. So 60 units is not 60 different LLCs, 60 different properties, but it's still, I don't know, a lot of properties. Nonetheless, a lot of different LLCs. It takes time. It costs money to maintain all those. That's the way I've been advised to do it. I'm not your CPA. I'm not your attorney. I'm not telling you that's the way you should do it. I'm telling you the way that I do it. And if you want, what I will do, because I'm a very visual person, I'm saying all this stuff to you guys and you see me drawing it out in my head because I cannot just say it and understand it. People, because I'm such a great, either perceive me, I'm a good, if not great analyzer of deals. Pace Morby, my mentor, says I'm one of the best, if not the best in our entire sub-2 community. And I appreciate that. I appreciate that because it is something I pride myself on. And I have a cheat code because I'm an engineer. I created a phenomenal investing calculator, right? So all these things make it easier for me. But what I will be doing is in the wealth of real estate community and in super investors, I will drop actual visual diagrams of all this and what my entity structure specifically looks like so that you can actually see it visually, because otherwise it's coming in one ear and coming out the other for me right now. And I imagine that's the same with a lot of you because it's a little easier for me because I do it. Any questions on any of these topics? Because I do see some other questions. I'm more than happy to get into that. Angelo says, my Airbnb in San Diego, looking for someone to manage. So we self-manage. We got to a point in which we were paying tens of thousands of dollars every $10,000+ a month in property management. So we decided it was better to hire a full-time asset manager / property manager and then hire virtual assistants underneath them to then do guest communications. It saved us a bunch of money. We have much better control of our management. So we go that route. So I don't have a referral for you for property manager. And we don't manage anyone else's properties. It doesn't make sense for, I only manage so I can have control of our management for a portfolio. And it's more consistent and cost less. So it's actually better financially. I'm not in the business of doing property management. I'm just in the business of buying whole real estate. It just makes sense to manage some of our own properties as part of that. So yeah, Angela, hopefully that helps. That's another thing I do talk about to some extent, super investors, and we'll talk more about it, right? It's going to be more relevant when people have a lot of properties that need that management, and the people who do have a lot of properties in the community already have other solutions, or they buy in one local market. So they have one phenomenal property manager that handles their whole portfolio. So LaShawn asked, Michael, can you explain more about fractional? I'm still trying to understand what that means. If you're talking about fractional, the company, don't worry about that yet. Premature. I'm going to do trainings with fractional, the company, the CEO, and some of the people on the team on that platform. But fractional is a platform for you. I mean, here, let me drop a link because you're going to want to, if I were you, use this link absolutely free. Go set up an account and just play around with fractional. Play around with this awesome tool. You're going to go right into the super investors community. You're going to see me utilize it a lot more moving forward. It's a platform for you to basically, remember how I mentioned the private money partnerships or even private money lending, and I'm working with one person or maybe 2 or 3 people on a specific deal. Well, fractional is great because it makes a lot of that easier. They have the whole platform is designed for people to raise capital and then lenders to lend money, and they will set up your LLC for that property. They will verify your lenders. And same for you as a lender, right? They'll verify the borrowers, I think is what they'll do for the borrowers. So I'm speaking prematurely. I'm going to bring in the right people to talk about this. And I'm actually going to be doing my first fund potentially through fractional. And it's not going to be an actual fund, but we're going to raise money to then basically the super split method is what we'll do. We'll do a super split fund where we will each put in X amount of dollars, right? And then there'll be a lot more ownership. Usually when I'm partnering with a primary partner, up to 4 is kind of the max limit of how you want to do that. The way that they are setting it up allows you to do a lot more. So I can allow people to join us in this super split fund 1. So super investors, split method, super split fund 1 to then go and buy multiple pad splits and co-living homes together. And you could put in a lot less and own a lot more, right? A lot more properties for a lot less down. So I'm going to be doing that either February or coming up sometime in the future. And I want you guys to be part of that. I think it'd be phenomenal. And for those in the super investors community and Wealth the Real Estate, super investors, they're going to be coming into our community near the end of January. We're going to be going over fractional, how to use it, all that good stuff. And then we'll be utilizing that platform actually together in February for the super investors Zero to Hero challenge. Basically, we're going to go from literally nothing, from defining a buy box, defining investment strategy, doing all that stuff, finding deals, analyzing them, choosing the ones we want to buy, raising the money for it, doing all the due diligence, closing on it, renovating it, furnishing it, renting it out, whatever is needed, go through the entire property acquisition blueprint together as a challenge in February. So if you have not yet signed up for super investors, literally now is your time, because we are going to be doing this live challenge. And if I swear, I won't smack you, but I'll be very disappointed if you just join and you just sit there and watch me buy deals instead of you at the same time doing the exact same steps to define your buying criteria, define your buy box, find deals, analyze deals, do all of that simultaneously. I want you to buy deals during that process. Like, it's not just sitting there watching me. I mean, Zero to Hero, I guess super investors, right? I guess I am a little bit of a hero. I already got the portfolio. I've already got the cash flow. I'm already financially free. It does me good to buy another property. I'm doing that to help you buy properties and show you step by step how to do it. Not just that amazing education that we provide in the community, but also how to actually do it live together for accountability, for all that good stuff. So once again, please, if you're going to join super investors, now is literally the best time. I just dropped the link and I'm going to put it in the comments, because we're going to, or do it before February. Give yourself some time to go through the education, and then we'll do the challenge live together, because you theoretically should have, if you don't have a deal or you're working on your next deal, you should have a deal at that point. So go drop the link in there for super investors. So just drop it right there. If you want to join, please feel free to do so. If you were going to join, I would definitely recommend joining now, because it's going to be awesome the way it's going to be set up. So as a recap, right, we talked about how I've purchased real estate using none of my own money, right? And then how I quickly know if I can use a private money lender, private money partner, and then kind of what the difference is between a private money lender, private money partner. And then secondarily, I went over my business and entity structuring all the way from the trust all the way down, right? Talking about various different things. I'm very transparent about everything that I can be, because I wish this is the stuff I wish someone else told me years ago. And I'm thankful that I have a mentor that is very transparent and has been very helpful. But I know I am maybe closer to where a lot of you are at. So I can help you understand kind of what my structure looks like and where I started. I mean, I did not own a single piece of real estate until May of 2020. And, 4.5 years later, I have 60 plus rentals, quit my job a few months ago, fully financially free. Could have quit 2 years ago, but I am very conservative. I'd rather, especially at a young age, I'd rather have more than less, and then just keep building with that. And that's what I've done. I just want to say, I'm not too far away from where you're at. If you are consistent, have a plan and take action, have accountability. Pace mentioned the FATE. He mentioned FATE yesterday for goal setting. If you are not in sub 2, I would highly recommend you join sub 2. If you're going to, please use this link, because they will offer you some sick incentives if you do. They'll allow you to maybe pay monthly instead of all at once. And if you do sign up to that, I will give you a free consultation, whether you need a game plan strategy session, or you need or you're looking for like deal analysis or help with anything. If you sign up using that link, let me know. It's not going to cost you anything. It gives me some money, like some affiliate money. Very transparent about that too. But that does not affect you. That benefits me. And because you are helping benefit me, you are joining an amazing community. I will then benefit you, because they'll get the financing potentially from them, but I will also then help you however I can with your investing journey. So Pace mentioned yesterday the FATE method, or FATE, an acronym for, and I thought it was freaking incredible. Focus, right? How will you maintain focus, right? That's a huge part of our community is, hey, no more shiny objects, no more distractions. Your goal is to become financially free. I have this step-by-step blueprint so you can become financially free. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on the education. Very robust, very thorough. If people are in the community and you're in here, please just provide a little bit of comment highlighting if you think it's good or not, if you think it's thorough or not, if you think there's, and if there's anything missing, I always add to it. That's a big part of these calls too. I'm adding to it every single week. We go live we have a mastermind within the community, but the idea is focus on financial freedom through buying and holding real estate using none of your own money. So then I provide you that step-by-step blueprint on how to do so, all the tools and resources to do so. And now anyone who joins will also be part of the Zero to Hero Super Investors Challenge, in February. So perfect timing to join. Authority, right? Leveraging authority. So fate, focus, authority, tribe, and emotion. Focus, we help. We're focusing on one target. Authority, well, you not only have me, but you also have this community of people who are all different levels ahead, but everyone's focused on one goal: buying and holding real estate, raising money, right? Not multifamily, not RV parks, not fix and flips, not wholesale, not buying and holding real estate using other people's money, because that is the truest and best and most approachable path to achieving financial freedom, regardless of where you're starting out with experience and knowledge, because you can learn all those things and execute that over and over and over again. Tribe, Pace was talking about having your top 5 closest people. He said he should be one of yours. I mean, he would like to think that he is. He's definitely one of mine. People in my community say that I'm one of their top 5 in their tribe. I appreciate that massively. And then the people in the community are also part of that tribe for you, which is phenomenal because you're all on the same freaking wavelength. If you are the person analyzing deals, if you are the person raising money, whatever, you are all on the same page working together. It is such a freaking phenomenal community if your goal is to buy and hold real estate using other people's money to become financially free. If you want to wholesale and work harder than you have to, or fix and flip to make 50K after several months and potentially lose money and deal with the stress of that, or if you want to go into RV parks or multifamily, which are phenomenal assets, but wildly different skills and take longer to get a lot of the wealth benefits, well, a lot of the cash flow benefits, financial freedom benefits, they're actually better for wealth because they're longer term plays, then it's not the right community for you. But if you want to become financially free through buying and holding real estate using none of your own money, that's what Super Investors is for. Step by step by step. Nothing's hidden, nothing. It's literally, this is exactly what you do over and over again to become financially free. And then emotion, he said, add an emotional connection to it. I don't do that. You got to do that for yourself, right? The good and the bad emotions that are driving you towards your goals. But we definitely provide focus, authority, and tribe in that community. Plus, if you're in sub 2, you also get the complementary piece of being in sub 2. Thank you, Felicia. Very detailed and understandable information. Appreciate that. So I think we're going to call it. I don't think I see any more questions. So we're basically done here. If you guys do have any questions, please join Wealth of Real Estate, the free school community, if you have not yet, or if you're just ready to, you're ready to buy and hold real estate, so you don't lose money because you want to be financially free. Well, Super Investors, this is the perfect time to join because we will be doing the 0 to Hero Challenge together, and you should have your first deal by the end of by the end of February. Cool, y'all. If there's anything else, you can reach out to me anytime. Instagram is always a great way to connect. So at Michael MNAT, right at the bottom here. And obviously, if you're watching this live on YouTube, Super Investors REI and Free Wealth, the real estate community. Hop in there. If you know you're ready for Super Investors, go for it. No pressure from me. If you want to join, if you think it makes sense for you, do that. If not, no worries. I'm good. So I'm just here to help you guys if you need it. All right, y'all. Thank you. I will see you next week.